Show. It's your boy KJ Smooth in the building. Alright, so I'm back with another story. You know how it is. So this one is about one of my football games. And that whole day was just crazy. So we're taking on Briar Woods. And for those of you who don't know, I got the Penn State visor on. I got a conflict of interest. I got two Big Ten teams. But anyway, Penn State, they used to have this QB, Trace McSorley. He went to Briar Woods. And now he with the Ravens. Funny little known fact. So Briar Woods, my best friends, a couple of my best friends, my big homies back in the day, and even still to this day, man, they go to that school. So they was all texting me that week like, oh, we got you this week, KJ. We gonna make it hard. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay, this gonna be a good game on Friday. And for those I'll give you a little bit of background. So there were some girls at Briar Woods, and I was not interested in any girls in Tuscarora. But there were some girls at Briar Woods, and I was trying to get my boy to help put me on. He's like, KJ, if you ball out, I'll help put you on to these girls. No guarantees, but you got to make some waves. You got to make some waves, get your clout up, So I'm like, all right, bet. People say there was one in particular. Nah, it was like 5 different ones. It just ended up only starting with one, and then none of the rest ever, came to fruition. But anyway, that's a story for a whole nother time. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I gotta play good for these girls. I need to make waves, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get booed up. So yeah, on top of that, they had this one assistant coach, and now he's helping out at my old high school. Really, he's technically doing a lot of stuff at my old high school now. But yeah, that was my dog, man. Coach. I'm not gonna say his last name, but that coach, man, that was my dog. I used to see him at work. Cause I working at the gym. That was when I first started. And he's like, man, how your team looking this year? How you looking? I'm like, I'm a dog out this year. You know how I do it. He dapped me up. He did all that, all that stuff. Dapped me up and stuff. He's like, yeah, that's what's up. I hope you had a great year. I'm happy for you. I'm like, man, I'm happy for you too. I'm ready to rock and roll. We play y'all. You know what I'm saying? That type thing. He like, yeah. So we just chopping up type stuff. So anyway, we get to the game. Like game day, it's Thursday night. And so my parents, because I was not supposed to go to that school, I was there on special permission. The enrollment was low, so I could go there on special permission. So my parents were like, you need to get a ride. And so we had a problem with some of our teammates. They didn't know how to make it to school on time. And school starts at 9:15 in this county. So if you can't get to school by 9:15, there is a problem. Un problema. So yeah, I was texting my boy. I'm like, yo, and he was starting free safety. We, ironically, were the 2 first team All-Staters on that team. So we the hardest of the team. So I texted him like, yo, man, can you pick me up tomorrow? Take me to school. I need a ride. My parents said I need a ride. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, we can't be late. He's like, bro, we will not be late. I promise. So bet. So it's funny. So, he pulls up, he got his speaker blasting and stuff. It's game day. I come out with my jersey, we vibing out. And it's funny. So when he picks me up, I'm like, what's good, what's cool? And I'm like, yo, man. He's like, yeah, we're making a stop at Chick-fil-A. So I'm like, because a lot of kids from our school went to that Chick-fil-A. I'm like, bro, we're not going to be late, are we? Because, I wasn't trying to get ripped by coach and have our 2 best players arguably not play. He's like, bro, we're not going to be late. I promise. I ordered already. I'm just going to go grab my food, pick it up, and we good. I was like, I bet. Yeah. I can't remember. That might have been the day we dropped off his brother at Riverside. The other high school, the rich high school. The rich people high school. Where all the bougie girls go. But nah, either way, we pulled up to Chick-fil-A, right? So he goes in, and I'm sitting here, vibing out in the car. I didn't have Instagram or Snapchat back then. I just had Twitter. I was just taking a couple of videos, sent them to a couple friends. I'm like, yes sir, it's game day. That type thing. I was so hyped that day. So, yeah, we eventually come out, and this annoying girl that all she does is talk. She was so annoying. But I rock with her brother. Her little brother was cool. A couple years younger than me. So she comes out, and then she sees me sitting in the car and, waves, and I'm like, I ain't gonna say names on here. But yeah, it was wild. So we ended up getting to school like with plenty of time to spare. We got there at like 8:50. So, you know, I go through the day, that type thing. You know, I'm texting my boys like, yo, you coming to the game tonight? My one boy who wasn't on the, he was my best friend, but he wasn't on the team. Like, he was just playing baseball at that point in time. So he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And then my other boy was on the team, so I was like, yo, respect, man. Let's go to work. So we get to about pregame, right? And so, you know, I'm on the field, I'm vibing out. You know how he is in warm-ups. I crossed the 50, and you know you're not supposed to cross on the other team's sideline. But, you know, these are my boys. This is my city. They from my city. So I go over and see my boys. I'm like, yo, what's up? I dap up 2 or 3 of my boys on that team. I'm like, how you feeling? They're like, we good. How you? I'm like, I'm good. Ready to rock and roll. I wanted to dap up the my homie coach on the team, but I couldn't find him. But yeah, actually, so when we went back into the weight room, you know, we were gathering and stuff, and the away team, they were in the girls' locker room because they were the away team. And so I saw and I knew the head coach personally. So when I walked out the weight room, I saw him like, what's up, coach? This is the head coach, not my homie from Gold's Gym. Not my homie coach from there. But he's like, what's up, man? How you? Because he know me since I was like 4 feet tall. I'm like, I'm good, coach. You know, I'm ready. He's like, yeah, we gonna be watching you tonight, number 1. He's like, you were in our game plan. I started laughing. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get a few catches though, coach. Come on, man, don't be doubling me. He's like, oh, we watching you. I'm like, coach crazy. But you know, it was cool. He's like, yeah, tell your mom and dad I said what's up when you see him later after the game. I'm like, yeah, I got you, coach. Respect, good luck. Let's go have a good game tonight. He's like, yes, sir. So it's funny. So when we leave warm-ups, I'm walking out, right? Because, you know, you come at your like own thing, and I was like one of the last ones out, so I was walking back with the coaches. And so my best friend pulls up, and he's paying to get into the game. I'm like, yo. And I call his name. He looks, he sees me. I'm like, yo, man, I know we got different colors, but come say what's up to your boy. So we, you know, all that. I'm like, yeah, my dad in there somewhere. You gotta find him. He's like, all right, bet I'm gonna look for him, because he played baseball for my dad over there. My dad was one of the assistant coaches at the high school at the time. So yeah, and so we're leaving, and my coaches, some of the assistants are like, Kyle, do you know everyone in Ashburn? Nah, I ain't got clout like that. Come on now. I just know enough people to be somewhat famous, you know. But yeah, I mean, every time we played an Ashburn team, I knew somebody. But yeah, it's my city. What you expect? It's my squad. So yeah, nah. So we get to the game, right? And we're playing. In the first possession, we like sputter out, missed a block, and then they threw to me on 3rd down. No, it was 4th down. And I went up to catch the ball. I fully extend my hands, right? And my boy knocks the ball away. It doesn't get to my hands. It was my boy who was on the other side, on the other team. He knocks it away. It's a good play. Give him that. It didn't get to my hands. I can't catch it. Come on now. So QB's mad. He thinks I dropped it when I didn't. And then coach is mad because I blew the 2 blocks before that. I hated fullback, by the way. Y'all know this. So then I'm like, all right. I was like, yeah, whatever, I got you next position, And then he was saying something like, you need to block, and blah, 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 and all that, execute. And then I took my helmet off, and I was like, I didn't throw it, I just like flipped it on, and it sounded around. And the defensive coordinator's like, pick your helmet up. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, go coach your defense. Yeah, no, we ain't gonna say what I was thinking in my head. But yeah, I was thinking in my head, go coach your defense. I looked at him, I'm like, he's like, pick your helmet up. I'm like, picked it up, walked away. And all the other coaches was getting on me again. I'm like, walking away. From that play on, that game on, I was a little frustrated because, you know, I said some foul things to a teammate the day before the game. We ain't gonna get into that. That's a different story. But yeah. So story time, we going through the game, and I'm like, I was blasting dudes. All we did was run. We did throw a little bit, but like only like maybe like 8 or 9 times that game. We just pounded them on the ground. And I was throwing blocks like crazy, man. And then my coach saw me after him. He was like, man, you balled out the rest of that game. I'm like, yeah, you want to open your mouth like that? I'm going to let you know. What's up? And he like, all right, okay, appreciate you, you know. So yeah, one of the plays, I ran this dig route, and it was a poo-poo route. Like, my route running was terrible. I did not break very well. So the DB jumps it, but it was also an inaccurate pass. So he gets his hands on the ball, right? And it's like in his breadbasket, in his chest. Somehow I grab his arm because I went out with one hand, and so I get my other hand and pull the ball in and yank the ball out. And he's holding on to my arm that I went initially in with. And I have the ball in one hand, and then I throw that dude. I'm like, get off me. And I start racing. And I'm trying to like see, do I outrun the safety? Do I stutter step him and cut back? And then my boy who was a corner, he ran a 4.5 40 at the time. He comes, he grabs me, and I'm like, ah. And then it took like 4 or 5 people to bring me down. But we got down to about the 10, and we scored. We punched it in. So fast forward to the end of the game. 28-23, we just score. We run it. We run the clock down pretty much, like a minute left, and we score. So then we go for 2, you know, make it look fancy. So I'm running the 2-point conversion. I catch that joint, and I slide with it, hold the ball up, flip it to the ref, go into the sideline. Yes, sir. I was hyped, man, that game. So story time. After the game, you know me, I kept my personal life on the DL, still do to this day. So my boy on the other team, who was playing on the team, his girlfriend went to another high school that wasn't our 2s. It wasn't the 2 that we were supposed to go to. I mean, it was one I was supposed to go to. So it's the 3rd high school. So she comes from that game to watch her boyfriend. So she sees me after the game, you know, I'm walking out. She's like, hey, Kyle. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, hey. Came over, so she's like, I got my pads and stuff. I'm gonna get my pads off so I can hug you, you know what I'm saying? So then we were sitting there chopping it up. She's like, I saw your little catch over there. I'm like, appreciate you, shawty. So yeah, so what'd you get here? She's like, yeah, I got here second half. You know, I had to stay for watch my high school play. I'm like, oh yeah, respect, it's all good. Appreciate you coming out. You know, we got the dub, but it was a good game. Your boyfriend played good. She's like, yeah, stuff. So then my dad, you know, my dad saw me. You know, my dad comes. I'm like, when I saw my dad, I was like, oh, shoot. Because that's not my girl, that's my boy's girl. But then I saw my boy's dad, too. He started coming, too. He was, like, a little bit behind my dad, so I'm like, yes. So as soon as we get there, he's like, hey, he's a good game out there. You know, daps me up and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, this is Erin. This is my friend's name. That's his boy, that's his girl. That's her boyfriend. He's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. And she also, her dad was my sister's teacher. So see, it's all intertwined. Funny story. So my dad thought I was trying to get my game on, which I told you. Because, you know, the girls at the other school that we were playing against, you know, but none of them, I ain't seen none of them. I was looking for them after the game. I was like, whatever. I'll see them another time. Maybe bye week. So we chilling, right? And we talking and stuff. And, you know, I finally had something like, yeah, Dad, flicked up. Actually, my boys came over, dapped them all up. We got flicked up and stuff. And then I walked off the field. Pretty much after that. You know, hug my friend's girl. You know, hey, good to see you, appreciate you, because we're cool friends. You know, good friendship. And so, you know, I leave, and as I'm leaving, I'm like walking, I'm getting ready to go, you know, change and all that, and you know, that was it. You know, all that wildness, man. Could have been late. Girls, my dad, coaches. That's a total story right there. And yeah, if y'all want any more stories, y'all know, hit my line, hit the comments, let me know, because I got hella stories from high school. I got some stories from college, man. I got stories to tell, and I have no filter. I have no problem sharing the detail, all that. So yeah, let me know what you think. That's the story. Stay out of trouble. Don't be wild. Don't be late to school, especially on game day. Don't even make it even close. And watch out for these women. These women be wild. Shit, what, kids, we out.